On behalf of this flight crew at Southwest Airlines, we'd like to welcome you to Dallas Love Field.
Good morning, it is match day, and guess who I found in Dallas, Texas? Hey! Last year I told Kelsey, my older sister, to meet me in LA for 4th of July because I wanted to see DC at Galaxy and obviously a fireworks show afterwards. And what did I do, Kelsey? She bailed! I bailed. I was instead stuck in Wisconsin watching homemade fireworks. I decided to make it up to her, and now we're here for what is supposed to be good morning, hi! The biggest fireworks show in all of North Texas. And hopefully it'll be after a DC United road win. Fingers crossed. We're at Cedar Ridge Preserve, doing, I think, the only hike available to us in Dallas, Texas. And then we're gonna go get a big, massive, gluten-free breakfast because Kelsey has dietary restrictions. Let's do this. This guy. Okay. Nature. That's some quality content. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. My game day routine starts with a workout and a massive breakfast. We chose Cozy Kitchen just north of downtown. So far, our day has taken us nowhere near Frisco. We're still about 30 miles from Toyota Stadium. The most exciting part about staying at the Statler was the pool on the rooftop, which Kelsey and I attempted to fare. And it was filled with drunk people. I guess today was like the one day of the summer that they're gonna open it up to the public, so. Technically, DC United hadn't lost a game since mid-May, but they played like they wanted to, and a majority of those games were ties / near losses. Weirdly enough, though, they still existed toward the top of the Eastern Conference, whereas Dallas, who at that point had gone on this crazy streak of scoring 16 goals in like 4 games, were kind of in the middle of the pack. But the Eastern Conference was not nearly as difficult as the Western Conference was in 2019. So I was a little bit skeptical going into this game. And for whatever reason, I don't think Paul Arriola was either healthy or able to play because of card accumulation or suspension. I can't remember, and I also didn't want to go to the second page of Google because that to me is the dark web. What I do remember from this game is that it was quintessential MLS. In the middle of the first half, Wayne Rooney goes in for a hard tackle and gets a straight red. They go look at it. VAR decides it'll be downgraded to a yellow. In the second half, Lucho Acosta, who didn't start, comes on and in like the first 10 minutes goes in for a hard tackle, gets a yellow. VAR decides to change it to red. I felt like we were doomed from the start based on how we had been playing and our attitude going to that game. To me, I think that was the start of a very slow downward spiral for DC United. Historically, FC Dallas is pretty consistent though, and they are best known for their academy program. They develop great young talent, and one day they might actually be a good enough team to keep them all. Fun fact, Weston McKennie was an FC Dallas Academy recruit, a seed they planted and that is currently blossoming in Germany. So in 2018, Dallas went through 2 major changes. One, they lost their longtime top scorer, Max Arudi, who now plays in Montreal, and their longtime coach, Oscar Pereira, who as a player, coach, and manager had been with the team for 18 years. The crazy thing is he was one of 8 coaches who left their MLS jobs at the end of that season, and he went to Tijuana. I believe he now coaches at Orlando City right now, which is a team in desperate need of his expertise. Their current coach, Luchi Gonzalez, had been with their academy program for 6 years, and because Dallas has that reputation for consistency, they decided why not promote the academy director the same way they promote the academy players. And at the start of the 2019 season, he was the second youngest MLS coach. Other than the 30-mile drive to Frisco from downtown Dallas, I really have no complaints about my experience at Toyota Stadium. Kelsey and I opted for the team-sponsored activity, the party off the pitch. I felt like it was a holding area until they actually opened the gates. Like all MLS team-sponsored events, it had room for improvement, but it gave us the opportunity to get into the stadium early and walk around before the game and to familiarize ourselves with it. My recommendation for anyone going to Toyota Stadium is to show up early because parking and traffic are nightmarish. In that way, party off the pitch ended up being a very smart idea. Okay, we've been in enemy territory for an hour and a half. They have this thing called Party Off the Pitch, which is about half as cool as it should be, but includes all of the necessities. 1, cornhole. 2, food. And 3, shade in case of the rain that came earlier, but also because of the crazy Texas sun. First 5,000 people in the stadium get to light up broomsticks. Obviously in preparation for the fire.
That's right. Soccer Hall of Fame, where you can get U.S. and Mexican national team jerseys.
What is your FC Dallas DC United prediction for tonight?
I'll say DC United wins. Here's the deal. We're going to go on 2-1 and honor America.
That's nicer than I was going to be. I predict a draw.
Special guest tonight is
2-2. Come on. Don't keep us waiting. VAR! What did we think of our first experience at Toyota Stadium?
The speakers were very loud. So loud.
Sounded like we were at an international airport. It was so kind of them.
Passenger Wayne Rooney, you have received a red card.
Oh, wait.
Stand.
The stadium was almost completely full. If they had announced a sellout crowd, I would not have been surprised. What are our plans for tomorrow?
Breakfast, tour of the stadium.
Good night. We're back at the scene of the crime to take a tour of the stadium. So this is Nick Linton. He's been with FC Dallas for over 3 years, and he was super accommodating given the fact that he worked match day the night before. We kicked off our tour in the newly renovated office space on the north side of the stadium.
So this is our Dallas Tornadoes room. Each one of our meeting rooms represents one of the 3 teams that FC Dallas or Lamar Hunt once owned. We are about 150 acres out here. There are 17 fields. 2 of them are turf. They allow us just a lot more hours. We host anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 million people in the complex every year. A majority of those fans won't even step foot into Toyota Stadium. They're actually going to be out here on our complex. We host Dallas Cup, Generation Adidas.
Which, did you see the photo Wayne Rooney posted?
Yeah, the Throwback Thursday. That was so cool.
FC Dallas was one of the first MLS teams in '96, originally known as Dallas Burn. But even before our league, NASL had a pretty consistent presence in the area. Long before Lamar Hunt masterminded Major League Soccer, he actually owned the team that Nick mentioned, the Dallas Tornadoes of the NASL, from 1968 to 1981. I know this glass case isn't well lit, but it's a great display of soccer history in Texas. Throw in their well-developed academy program in the area and you understand why Dallas has a reputation for playing the long game. Dallas is the land of the homegrown player. They've had 25 academy signings to their professional team. This is the part of the stairwell where old meets new. When Toyota Stadium completed a $55 million renovation back in 2018, the locker room, press room, etc. were all moved from this side of the stadium to the south end, where they had added a partial roof, replaced bleacher seats, and put in the Soccer Hall of Fame. So we're walking through the old player tunnel right now, and this is the first part of the stadium that actually feels like MLS 1.0. I love that the players used to walk out into the concourse and past the supporters section. They have a similar setup in San Jose, but it's not nearly as long a march as this one looks like. This is one of 3 Lamar Hunt statues in the US. The others are in Arrowhead in Kansas City and Map Free in Columbus. Makes sense because until he passed away in 2006, he owned all of those teams. The only part of the stadium I didn't see were the suites. I think they were being cleaned, but honestly, I feel like Nick deserves his own key. We made our way to the south end with all the new renovations I mentioned. This corner is where the away section was located, and we're standing under a patioed area which can be reserved for large groups or roped off for a private but open style event. This is a club level attached to the Hall of Fame. Nick's pointing out that black curtain where players come and pose for pictures after games. The floor has these cases called minute moments, and when they're lit, they show a piece of soccer history and the minute of a match that the case commemorates. Final stretch here, folks. Below the club is the new press conference room, but even cooler is the lower level club bar dedicated to the Open Cup. Not only named after Lamar Hunt, but also reigns as the oldest soccer tournament in North America. Dallas has won it on 2 occasions, DC United has won it 3 times. In all my stadium tours, I've learned that locker rooms are pretty standard, simple and sleek designs, though this one was clearly built for an American football team. I know Toyota Stadium hosts both kinds of football. Something. All right, Maddie. FC Dallas, we're on to you. If you liked this video, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I also recently did an interview with a Texas-based podcast called Box to Box Radio. You can find them wherever you get your podcasts. They're also on Twitter at Box2TO, Box_radio. Thanks so much, guys. Peace, love, and soccer.